finally got the time to make this one after over 20 days. I'm back for another figure haul, and it's for my 26th birthday. Itching 4 more years or I hit that inevitable 30. Anyways, I'm not going to hold you guys up with some unrelated rambling of how things are going outside of making videos. I'm going to go straight into this video about what I bought specifically for this particular day. So, to kick things off, here's what I finally got to complete, which is the baby Godzillas from Treadmaster's Godzilla 1998 toy line, specifically the Godzilla eggs, the hatchling versions of these particular creatures. Finally complete with them this time. And I also got them inside their eggs just to pull out the action feature that's demonstrated in the promos. I never pointed out that these hatchling versions of these creatures have the peg holes on their tails for the gimmick to work, so now I'm pointing that out. Anyways, this one here is Spike Jaw. Though it looks like another version of Hammerfoot when I think comes with a paint scheme. But yeah, it's the same adorable sculpt as the Monster Claw one that I went over in the previous video. Putting Spike Jaw aside, I wanted to also push that button on the Monster Claw version, the one they reveal in there. He just falls right off. But the third one contains Hammer Tail, which is pretty much another version of the Razor Fang figure in a way. Unlike that one, this one is a little less creepy when it comes to the overall look. It's just the same sculpt with the same paint scheme as the Razor Fang version. So it's pretty neat for that. And one thing that I gotta point out about the eggshells, inside these probably would have no support clamps or something that's supposed to hold the babies from falling off. And I only have one that has the support clamps, which came with the Spike Jaw one. I don't know if it's a mixed variation thing when it comes to the release or making of these figures, but I won't probably go that long into it because I'll make this portion a bit too long, or I just really don't know that much about it, but that really doesn't matter. Anyways, the next thing, which is the last thing I'm going over Godzilla related, is the Toy Biz Baby Godzilla. This one is supposed to be the tail swinging version of the figure. And before I get any further, this one's also an RC operated figure, and I bought this as it is. No cord, no controller attached, literally just nothing. I didn't have to cut it off this time, so the seller did it for me. Anyways, this tail swinging Godzilla here is so damn good when it comes to the screen accuracy, and it's just only one of the 3 of these made. The other 2 was called the chopping jaw version and the slashing claw version. I really like how this figure looks, and also I really also like how the paint scheme looks a little glossy, like it matches some of the shots of Godzilla 98 when it comes to the CGI models of the babies looking a bit glossy at certain areas. The Trainmaster's Baby Godzilla figures are pretty nice, but again, like I said in that previous video, those figures didn't represent them perfectly. This one does, and much more closely. The only essential flaw I have with this figure is really how the legs and feet are designed. I get that it's a part of the way the RC gimmick is supposed to be working, but it just looks a little bit too tall and a bit too big in terms of proportions. It just looks a little off. Aside from that, this figure is really awesome looking, and you bet someday I will be getting the other 2 in the line. And just before I move on, here's the size comparison of this figure right next to 2 other Godzillas, which is the Treadmaster's Baby Godzilla, and of course the Toy Biz Bigger Godzilla, or at least one of them. But yeah, just to get an idea of how it's sized up. Moving on from Godzilla 1998, back to Jurassic, with the Jurassic World Ultimate Damage Scorpius Rex, which is another figure I got for my birthday. And honestly, this is a major improvement over the Dino Escape releases during the Cretaceous days. It really represents the terrifying hybrid in a much better way than the other versions. It looks more screen accurate. Of course, you got the light up action features here, like the button pressing and the head pushing to activate the roars. I haven't been doing much videos on Mattel's Jurassic toys nowadays because I really got nothing but constant praise 90% of the time. And I've been recently loving these toys more and more for their improvements in their toy design choices, like how the teeth are not only separate pieces, but they're really sharp and menacing without even being sharp. The previous version I have I pretty much like already, but this one just puts the older one to shame. And this would have been perfect if it had the articulation of the Danger Pack version, but other than that, a very awesome figure, and it's worth putting in my overflowing Jurassic World toy collection. Moving on to playsets, the one on the left is the Animal Zone Dino Fortress set, and the other one on the right is the Animal Planet Giant Cobra set from 10 years ago. Tons of stuff they come with, but the selling points are really just the playsets themselves. The Animal Zone playset itself I bought from Macy's on clearance, and it was a lucky find. The playset itself comes with dinosaurs, but I don't have them because their dinosaurs are really in poor quality. I really didn't like those dinosaur toys, so I tossed them into my little brother's toy bin in the closet. Everything but those dinosaurs are worth it with this playset. Of course, this is more of a bootleg kind of set, I guess, considering that it might be chat made, but this is really a Toys R Us made set. So the 3 figures that it comes with look pretty fun, and they'll be used as stand-ins for the sled bandits in my toy movie. The accessories and diorama pieces that it comes with are great additions, and it would also make my toy movie making experience much more easier to work with when it comes with scenery. The fortress itself is pretty nice with a variety of lights and sounds, though I didn't really demonstrate them here, and I don't need to honestly. All I can say is that I recommend you get this before it's too late. It's still up on the Macy's website on clearance at the time of this recording. The Animal Planet Giant Cobra set, or as I like to call it, the Snake Temple set, because there's just a ton of snakes in this playset, and this would be a great stand-in for an Indiana Jones playset. This 10-year-old set that used to be sold at Toys R Us was something I never thought I would buy complete in the package. So honestly, this is the most expensive set I bought since the 2 rare Lost Wave Indiana Jones figures I bought 2 years ago. This set comes with a lot of snakes, like I said, not just including the giant Hydra Cobra, but also includes spider monkeys, a big scorpion, a big spider with a web attachment piece, an artifact that looks too big for its own good, a mini helicopter with a nice little crane piece attachment, and 2 human characters who are really the standouts of this set. The one on the left is a guy I like to call Albert, which is in my remake of Jurassic Park New Discovery back in 2019, the New Discovery Jurassic Park. He's a really nice figure, and it's kind of funny that he used to be a stand-in for Barry from the Jurassic World movies before he finally got his action figure last year. And the guy on the right, which I think most OG viewers would know as Ellis from the original Jurassic Park New Discovery back at 11 years ago, and he's quite the nostalgic figure for me. I love the look at this guy, and I'm very fond of this version of the many versions that exist out there of this character. And heck, I like this figure so much I decided to have him make a cameo appearance in the upcoming movie, The Reign of the Terror Croc, which part 1 has finally wrapped filming. The temple has a couple of features that are pretty nice, like a rotating door that is activated when pressing on the head of the entrance down, some secret passageways, with one being covered by snake-carved branches, and the other one that you can slide in and out on the right side. There's also some glow-in-the-dark attachments, which is pretty nice. And lastly, let's look at the 2-headed Cobra, the Hydra. Really an interesting looking figure here, and really Chat May always makes some really cool creature figures. This figure's main head lights up and has sound effects attached to it, and an action feature of pulling the tail back to activate a striking action. While the other head really doesn't do much, it's basically on its own. It does have a spring-loaded little mouth, but then again, it's like not really much to do compared to the other head. Kind of stinks that this big snake is posed in a coiled position, but other than that, it's a pretty cool figure, and it really does got major toy movie potential here, much like the whole playset. It's so great. So the next thing I bought is this Soldier Force helicopter that was shipped from a Canadian seller that happened to be the same seller that I bought the Toy Biz Baby Godzilla from. So this chopper looks like it evoked an engine feel, which is one of the many reasons why I bought it. The second reason being that, well, I needed a new chopper for toy movies rather than reusing the same ones that I've shown. The extra 2 figures that I bought here, one being a Leonard Corp's Ethan Crown figure, Crowny, whatever the last name is pronounced, but whatever. I recognize this figure as a character from Anthony Torres' toy movies, but it was a different variation. I like this one more, and he's gonna go real good as a sled bandit for one of my movies. I just can't escape the sled bandit feel when it comes to most of these figures. Anyways, the second Lantern character is a mercenary made for Kong Skull Island, which he came in the Storm Strike boat set for the movie. Even though this guy evokes a look that reminds me more of a stand-in for Cooper from Jurassic Park 3, he's a really cool figure, but I'm decisive whether I want him to be a protagonist or an antagonist in my movies. I'll probably end up going with the latter, I don't know. So, closer look at the helicopter. The aircraft looks like it could at least fit 3 people in, 2 in the back, 1 in the front. It doesn't have any plastic windows to cover up the open parts, but I don't mind that at all. The feel of this chopper is quite light, and it doesn't have too much weight going on, which is something that I'm actually surprised with. And it also has a very good propeller to spin on the top, which it doesn't have any hindrance on it, so that's something that I really like. It's also kind of cool that it has a hook on the bottom to use to transporting things while in the air, kind of like the footage I filmed for Jurassic World: The Lost Lands, which is a film by Anthony Torres that I'm still collaborating with. So yeah, that's it for the helicopter and the lantern characters. And now on to the thing that is really the biggest and most sought after set for me on a personal level, because I've been wanting this for so long. Yes, this is the Battle Compound Post play set from Click and Play. A set that I've been meaning to buy for such a long time. After missing out on a couple of good deals, it's here for my toy movie set pieces, and I didn't just get the base building. I got the whole dang thing with the figures, the vehicles, and the accessories all included. And since it took quite a while for me to set things up while recording this, here's a shot of everything out of the bags. Quite a lot of stuff to work with when it comes to this set, and it's just so exciting that I finally have this. Turning over to the other side, the empty side of the building, yeah, there's really nothing here yet. Also, there's some tape attached to the door still, since I don't want to fiddle around with the set just yet. But yeah, it may be a crowded space, but it's still big enough to pass for a good interior location. Now, there's only one issue that I have with this, that is, of course, the unattached seam line right here. It just looks like it hasn't been put together properly. Even when I tried adjusting it, it doesn't want to seem to stay adjusted, so there's that. Here's a close-up of the figures and vehicles that come with this set. The figures on their own are some pretty fine, generic military guys. Nothing too special, but nothing too bad. Also, I didn't know while I was recording this that motorcycle got detached from the front, so I put it back together. No worries there. And here's a close-up of the accessories here. Like I said, quite a lot to work with. Also, this is my second dog accessory right now. I hate to sound like a broken record, but really, the possibilities of what I could do with this set are honestly kind of endless. And with that, that's all I got for my birthday. Took a long time for me to edit this footage together, and even longer time just making this video because of personal stuff and filming between all of this stuff. But yeah, I have more videos planned to do in the making, but they'll all be coming at my own pace as usual. And I'm very happy with what I bought, and honestly, some of the best items I got for my 26th birthday. And also, before I sign off, for the time being, I saw most of the Jurassic World Rebirth toy reveals, wanted to let you guys know. And despite spoiling myself on one particular figure I was not meant to see entirely, there were some absolute bangers being released at this time, especially some species I'm looking forward to, like the Purosaurus, for example. Definitely going to be adding that in Reign of the Terrorcroc, by the way. Anyways, as always, thanks for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this. See you guys later.